If you're hearing this, it's already too late. Stay quiet. Don't trust the lights. And whatever you do, don't no clip into the back rooms.
Wow. What are we talking about?
If you haven't guessed, it's the back rooms.
But what are the back rooms?
It began way back in 2019. A gentleman posted some pictures
In 4chan, by the way,
in 4chan.
4chan is a kind of a deep dark web forum.
Right. And he warned about no clipping out of bounds into alternate dimensions.
Really freaky. Freaky.
Right.
Freaky
So
deaky.
essentially, backrooms are exactly what they sound like. And especially now that we've all gone through COVID, we understand what it feels like to walk into a place that's supposed to be busy, it's supposed to be full of people, and suddenly it's empty.
So essentially what happened was, back in 2011, 2018, a photo of this carpeted room with fluorescent lights and pale yellow, like, paint came about. And then 2019 is when the 4chan poster posted, um, send me, what was it? Post disquieting images that just feel off. And then people started posting all sorts of things like mall pictures and airport pictures and just weird stuff with nobody in it. I know from experience, you've seen, little corridors
Yeah.
or rooms that you walk in, you're like, what the hell?
I remember very specifically when I was younger, we were at a hospital visiting a family friend, and I was trying to make my way to the cafeteria. I'm following all the signs, I'm following everything. And then I wind up in these hallways where there's nobody. There's no patients, there's no workers, there's nothing. And I was completely turned around. And finally, a nurse comes out and directs me in the appropriate direction. But here's the thing, I could never find my way back to that hallway.
So here's where it gets really wild. This is where it gets like D&D style stuff. So, within this 4chan post, all of a sudden another user replies, if you're not careful and you no clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the back rooms where it's nothing but stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, and the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum humbuzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. Yeah,
That's
that's
scary. That is scary.
and that right there blew it up
Well, that's the
for
thing.
several years.
It hits this deep level. And here's the thing, this concept is not new. This is something that has frightened human beings for centuries, generations and generations. Think about purgatory. You're not in heaven, you're not in hell. You're in that somewhere in between, and you don't know what's lurking in the darkness.
So what happened was they in 2022 ish, a kid put together a Reddit like forum, and it's a backrooms forum. So far, it has 157,000 members in it, and it just started going nuts. And he put together, it just blew up where it uploaded videos of these backrooms, and it literally expanded upon with the new movie coming out, or the new movie that's out, Backrooms.
Here's my thing. I believe it's because we've all experienced back rooms. We've all ended up in this liminal space that we're not supposed to be in.
So, what are liminal spaces?
They are that in between. When you think of the old fairy tales, someone is walking the path back home and maybe they go left instead of right and they find themselves in fairyland. They find themselves in this in between threshold. They don't know where they are and things just aren't quite right.
Quite right. So you can attribute this to anything supernatural or paranormal. You know, it could be it could be one of two directions. It could be the mass, how would you call it? The massive just out there of this concept, and it's literally grown into something so huge that it's becoming and manifesting into a thing. Or you got, aliens, ghosts, time slips, different things of that.
I think it's always been a thing. And I think that this is our most recent way of describing a very common human experience with something that is maybe not so common, something that's paranormal, something that's supernatural. Because I think when it comes down to it, we have all been in the back rooms.
Yeah, so with this whole concept, and people are probably asking, what is no clipping? So no clipping comes from gaming, where I called it back in the day, and I still do call it glitching, where it's you and this is prominent to these older games that had a lot of holes in it. So think of it as a 3D, three-dimensional, four-dimensional like game, where if you walk up to a wall, there might be a hole in the wall that programmatically it's there, but it's not there, and it's hidden to the devs. So you walk through it, and you can literally see the whole level of the game. That's glitching and no clipping. That's like, you run right through, or in some instances, like I've seen games where you could jump on top of a box and then jump into a door, and you can literally go through the door without opening it.
Platform 9 3/4.
Kind of, yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Imagine you're in an office building, you get in the elevator. The elevator's doors open on a floor that you didn't anticipate. And suddenly you're in a space of this building that's empty. The lights are flickering, but it's familiar because you've seen it in a dream. You've been there.
Hmm.
You don't know what's around the next corner. So you jump right back in the elevator and get to your floor. It happens. It
Yeah.
happens more than you think it does.
Yep. And then, then they took it a step further in this Backrooms movie, and possibly into the more horror genre of this concept, and they started putting creatures into it and thoughts, where it's like it could be more horrific.
Well, here's the thing.
Hmm.
Scientists have discovered every face you see in your dream is a face that you have seen in
Yeah.
reality.
Hmm.
What about your nightmare creatures? Where have you seen those?
Hmm. That's freaky.
So here's the thing. You find yourself in a back room, run.
So what, you know, this could be a digital purgatory. This could be a paranormal, like thin veil, or that timeline shift or something like that.
Mhm.
So we would like to hear from you. What do you think it is? What do you think these backrooms are?
Have you found yourself in a back
Oh
room?
yeah.
Tell us your story. We want to hear it. And hey, listen, if we get enough stories, we will do a special episode just sharing the stories.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. So with that said,
I'm Brandy,
I'm John.
and watch out for the flickering lights.
Oh yeah. And watch out for those creatures, because they've hurt you already.